In this interview, Andy from the Lives on the Registry team got a chance to speak with David M. about what he has held dear over the years. A history enthusiast, proud cat father, and owner of rare autographed Roger Staubach's memorabilia, David's story is about finding joy in everyday life, and life being more than the sum of its losses.
I wanted to ask you about your your dog Coco. So what happened to you?
Yeah. Oh, it was horrible. I got her on August 5th. She was given as a gift from a friend of mine, a surprise gift. She was a mini poodle, 4 years old, and we moved over here October 1st. So the night she was, or the evening she was killed, I was always holding her, as I call her my baby girl. And so I went to the backyard. I asked her if she wanted to go outside, and she said yes. Um, So I went back in the backyard and I was holding her, just talking to my roommate's girlfriend. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, came this pit bull and just snatched her right out of my arms. I mean, it just happened. I didn't hear a growl, bark, anything, no warning, just chomp.
So you have a cat now. So how much does your cat mean to you now? What was your cat's name again?
Smokey the Ninja Kitty. Yeah, oh yeah, Smokey is means a lot to me. And he's kind of helped in the healing process from losing my dog and losing my dog the way I lost him, her. And yeah, he's been. I think I told you last time that he was an outside cat from April of last year when he was born until Memorial Day of this year when we took him in. And he's always kind of hanging out in the front porch. His mother, Snowball, were kind of hanging around the front porch. So one of my roommates decided to make him an indoor cat, and he's just adopted really well. We've pretty much spoiled him rotten. I've always liked dogs and cats, especially dogs, and I've always been around. And what I like about them, Andreas, is that they offer you unconditional love. They don't care about your criminal record. They don't care what you look like. They don't care about how much money you make. They just love you for you, and that's the way it should be with humans, really. But I don't think they'll ever happen.
Well, I do want to ask you about how has having animals kind of helped you transition back into the real world? Because I know you've done some serious time before.
Yeah, it really has. It's very calming. Actually, it's kind of funny that you mentioned that, or ironic, because my blood pressure's down. I don't have to take my blood pressure medication anymore. So it's quite a bit. It's very and well, you probably know this. Studies have been done about the calming effect that pets have, and people that have pets actually live longer lives. So, and I can believe that because they just offer you comfort, support, and they don't ask for anything in return. It's just this perfect situation.
You've told me before that you've done time before, but your stretch that you've done was for failure to registration. Is that correct?
Yes, yeah. I did let me think, in 2004, I was sentenced to 15 years. And let's see, I went to prison in 2004, got out in 2009. So I did 5 on that. And then I went back in 2014 for a non-existent parole violation and got out in 2018. So originally my sentence was supposed to expire in 2019, but because I didn't finish 50% of my street time, I had to more or less not start over from day one, but just have to start from the date of my parole violation. So I should have discharged 2 years ago, basically.
So when you failed to register, what was the circumstances around that? I know you've spoken to me about it, but if I remember correctly, you failed to register just because you were in the hospital.
Well, no, that was actually the parole violation. The parole violation, what happened, I was living in Austin, and so I started getting one-on-one counseling with another counselor, just regular LPC. And I told her, I'd been having suicidal thoughts and really needed some inpatient hospitalization. So she agreed. So she called my parole officer, and she agreed to it, and called my SOTP counselor, and he agreed to it. And I got out. I forgot a few days later. Went back to the halfway house where I was living while I was doing well. And then 2 days later, I get arrested for failure to attend counseling. And I had proof, verbal agreements from both of the people, and they revoked my parole for that. In 2002, I separated from my wife. November, I remember exactly because my psycho of a ex-brother-in-law called in a false report to CPS that said, and she told them that I was planning on kidnapping my daughter and taking her to Mexico, which I don't know where the heck she got that in her warped little mind, but she was very paranoid. So I ended up, November 1st, November 14th, 2002. And then I was never able to see my daughter again unless there was, a chaperone, which usually was my father-in-law, which was ridiculous because my daughter didn't need a chaperone. We had a custody hearing, I think that same month in January 2003, where a custody hearing for my daughter, and my wife was awarded custody of her, and I was only allowed, I think, 1 or 2 visits a week. I think like every other Saturday and once a month on Wednesday, something ridiculous like that. And then in March of 2003, our mom told us she was dying of lung cancer, and she passed away on May 4th, 2003. So basically, my life was going to hell in a handbasket. In July of 2003, I moved out of her house. I lived with my wife and daughter. I moved out of there and moved to Louisville. And I lived there for several months, and then I moved around a little bit without telling. I was registered with the Louisville Police Department, and I moved around a couple of times without telling them. And then I did tell them when I moved back to Denton, what my address. Well, I emailed the lady that was in charge of the registration. I emailed her and told her this was my address as of, I guess, whatever it was, 2003. So long story short, I was arrested. Well, there's that dog again. I was arrested in 2004 for failure to register and got 15 years.
In other words, so you've only done time really just for failure to register. I mean, and your original conviction was
actually, Andreas, I had another charge back in '89. I was sentenced to 5 years and did about a year and a half in TDC. So I'm actually been TDC 3 times, but only twice for things that I actually did. Last parole violation, to me it doesn't count, even though it does.
The point is, you've been offense free for close to, well, if you count
17 years.
Longer than that, really. I mean, if you count only that you've only been in trouble for your original registration crime, you've only been, or what was it, like longer than that now?
Yeah, 2004. So was the failure to register, but actually offend was last century, it wasn't even the 21st century, which is another ridiculous thing. But I'm still being, double jeopardy, triple jeopardy, and quadruple jeopardy, everything else. So just living my life and just having a nice quiet life with my trained assassin ninja kitty, and hopefully he won't attack me in my sleep and kill me. But no, I'm kidding. But yeah, just taking it easy, having a nice quiet life, and really just I have to deal with a lot of medical problems. Just a couple of weeks ago, I found out that I have moderate sleep apnea. I've been having trouble breathing, and they did a sleep study on me. I don't know if you're familiar with that, where they hook you up with all the different monitors.
Yes.
And long story short, is that they found out that I have moderate sleep apnea. I quit breathing 19 times an hour, which comes out to once every 3 minutes. So, which is kind of dangerous, actually. So I'm going to be fitted with a CPAP machine, so that way, especially at night, I can be able to breathe better, because I haven't been sleeping very well here lately.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, I think it's just commendable that even throughout all of this, I mean, your original offense was like in like what, 1990?
Um, gosh, 89, 1989.
Your
No,
original offense was in 89, and so if you count only that as your original offense, you haven't reoffended since 1989, and that was 32 years ago.
well, yeah, but I did have a another offense in 1998 that I got probation for. But yeah, but that was, like I said, 1998. That was 23 years ago. So yeah, but I'm still paying for it um, in more ways than one, emotionally, mentally, and everything. So it's really pretty ridiculous.
Absolutely.
And yes, I am bitter. I'm very bitter.
You haven't offended since 1998, so you have 23 years of being offense free.
Yeah, that is correct. Now I did have failure to register, but that's not really a I guess we'll call that offending anyone. It was just a what do you call it? I guess a paperwork or I'm not sure how you would classify that, but it's definitely not committing a new crime per se. It's not. It is kind of committing a new offense, but
You
no
haven't
one was the
committed an
victim.
offense against a person,
Right? Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
right? No, absolutely. And, I just commend you because even with
Thank you.
that failure to register, it seems like you haven't had another failure to register in, 17 years now. I mean, granted,
Right. Right.
when, you were incarcerated for some period of time, but you've been on your paperwork now, I would imagine.
No. Well. Yeah. It's just I knew I would never, after my last offense, I would never offend again because it just, you get to a certain point in life where you have to, well, for the sake of your own sanity and just your own resiliency and have more self discipline. And um, I had some impulse control issues. Um, and you just kind of get over that. And it comes to a point in your life where you have to get up, you know what, or you get off the pot. And I just get off the pot.
And how much work have you done in therapy since then?
Well, really, let me think. When I got out in 2009, we had therapy once a week, I believe. And then, yeah, and then I was still seeing an SOTP counselor in 2014 um, who put me in prison. But the counselor that I have now, I can't tell you enough good about him. He's been very supportive, uh, offers a lot of encouragement. He doesn't judge. We don't talk about our criminal history because the key word is history. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about it, even though almost everybody I know could take that moment in time and obviously, take it away. But we're mostly just talking about our present, what our goals are, what we hope for the future, and that kind of thing.
And what are your plans for the future going forward?
Mm. Well, good question. I have so many health issues that I really just kind of just it's almost cliche to say, but I really more or less have to live one day at a time, maybe one week at a time. But because with my health issue, that it kind of limits myself as far as goals are concerned. I am going to be doing another interview with the Sixth Floor Museum, which um, I gave a phone interview back in January of this year, and they want me to actually go up to the museum and give a videotape interview, which is going to be incredibly nerve wracking. It's not going to be an audience; it's going to be in the curator, but it's going to go on the. It's called the Sixth Floor Museum at Dealey Plaza. The website is called jfk.org. And then what I have is what they've done is with my interview, you can't actually listen to it online, but if you want to go to those of you listening up there, if you want to go to jfk.org/childhood recollections, jfk.org/oral history/childhood recollections, and then scroll down to my name. You can see my name there and a couple of sentences. And I can't play it for anybody because it's the intellectual property of the museum. But you can actually go down there. If you ever come to Dallas, you can actually hear it. Hopefully it'll be on video by then, but you can actually plug into their player there and listen to the whole 53-minute interview, which I'm extremely proud of. I mean, that's leaving a legacy that will be around for 100 years. So that's to me, that's probably the best thing that's happened to me since I've been out.
I just want to say thank you so much for your time. And, what is, if there's anything that you could say about yourself that you'd like people to know, what would it be?
Well, I would have to say that I'm not the monster that my criminal record may look like. I would say to people, don't judge somebody by their criminal record alone. Look at the kind of person that they are. So I've made some mistakes, and I have. And yes, I've committed crimes before, but I've also done the time for that. That's in the past. And I'm just trying to focus on the now and in the future.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. And, best of luck to you in the future. And, keep on doing the good work that you've done.
Okay. Thank you.
This is Brenda Jones, Executive Director of NARSOL. Thanks for watching. If you want to see more, check out our other Lives on the Registry videos. If you want to know more, visit narsol.org and check out the Resources tab. Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell for future notifications. See you again soon.